It's time for people to understand that you may be wealthy and still be among the thrifty people in the world. Speaking of wealth and money, these are 10 immensely wealthy people who live like ordinary people, because no one follows this guideline more closely than these folks. Joe's stay for the conclusion since some of these are unexpected. Number 1 will surprise you. The 10th. Kate Middleton's mother and daughter-in-law are similar. While some of the 1% of celebrities might feel it beneath them to appear on TV wearing the same outfit repeatedly, the Duchess of Cambridge is one of the most well-known outfit repeaters in the world. Because there are so many better things to spend money on, Kate Middleton is the ideal illustration of that mindset's immaturity. Perhaps she picked up her frugal tendencies from the Queen, or she is just naturally thrifty. But salutations to the Duchess, who is smarter than most people in the world and has a $10 million income. Wealth will be well spent, that much is certain. And speaking of great women in fashion, we have another national icon who has demonstrated incredible financial acumen at position 9. Using the phrases class, and while in the White House, Michelle Obama paid for her entire outfit, diverting taxpayer funds to other worthwhile endeavors. For everything else, she went to a store. Most dresses and gowns she wore when her husband was in the office were designer gifts. Michelle Obama demonstrated that there is no such thing as too cheap, and anyone who claims there is probably not worth your time. During one of her appearances on NBC's Today Show, she wore a $35 dress from the fast fashion retailer Ada. Michelle Obama had a net worth of $70 million, but didn't get there by splurging on things she didn't need. Number 8. I bet you didn't see this one coming. KEANU Reeves. Is there any limit to the good things this man can do? In addition to dressing modestly, KEANU Reeves has chosen to forego the extravagant lifestyle many celebrity peers adore. With a net worth of $380 million, it would be simple for the actor to blow a few $1,000,000 on expensive luxury cars. But the actor has chosen to remain true to himself. He is using public transportation, such as the tube. Who doesn't love KEANU? But speaking of your peers living extravagant lifestyles and boasting about their wealth, we have the king of YouTube himself up next at number 7. If you saw him on the street, you might find it difficult to recognize him as one of the highest paid actors in the world. After all, he is a man of the people through and through. Apart from huge businesses with unlimited resources behind them, such as T-Series, PewDiePie is the most prominent YouTuber out there. He is a singer, a comedian, and a YouTuber. Although he is a self-made man through and through, Felix Schellberg has never forgotten his modest upbringing. In contrast to his fellow YouTubers, who lead extravagant lives, and PewDiePie continues to be modest despite causing scandal after controversy. A cursory glance at his videos reveals the same humble demeanor, including his hoodies and t-shirts. Since leaving Disney, he drastically reduced the production budget and rarely spent money on cars. He sometimes even shoots movies from a spare room in his home. No one better proves the adage that money is silent than this following entry, which is, of course, at number 6, that when you're successful, people will realize you don't need to try to prove it to them. Without Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of one of the largest corporations in the world, who helped usher in the social media revolution and rose to the 5th richest person in the world with a net worth of over $70 billion, this list would be incomplete. Mark doesn't have to worry about money and never will. But if you saw him on the street, you might mistake him for an ordinary millennial trying to pay off his student loans after graduating from college. In almost every photo posted online, Mark can be seen wearing his trademark jeans and a gray t-shirt and driving a $30,000 Acura to work. Knowing Zuckerberg, much thought likely went into this public image, but there's nothing wrong with that. Mark and his wife have stated that they intend to donate most of their wealth before they pass away, which is a goal we can all support. Click the subscribe button before we get to the last few people on the list. You have about 3 seconds. KARTHEISER Vincent. This one might not be as well known to you as the others on the list because KARTHEISER hasn't yet landed any bigger than life roles. However, he still needs to get paid fairly because he played the lead in the popular television series Mad Men and has a net worth of around $3 million. Despite his enormous success in life and a career trajectory that only seems to be going up. KARTHEISER hasn't given up his humble attitude just yet. He doesn't go out of his way to impress. He dresses like the average guy on the street. He doesn't even drive. And the man is so minimal that he's in the process of giving away or selling anything he doesn't need. He may be the least wealthy on this list, but that number isn't something to the fourth. Despite having an insane net worth of $80 billion, Amancio Ortega is behind the company Zora. Although you wouldn't know it by looking at them, you would never think that they are the wealthiest retailer in the world. Even though he owns one of the most well-known clothing companies in the world, Ortega hails from a very humble background. He is so secretive about his life that, before 1999, no image of him was available to the public. Ortega is also a big supporter of the charity, donating millions to healthcare, most of which go back to his home country. Throughout his life, Comprad amassed over $50 billion and was even the wealthiest man in the world, but he always remembered when he used to sell matchsticks from his bicycle. The billionaire could frequently be seen wearing clothes that looked well-loved, and he usually wore dark clothes. Comprad is the second sweet on this list after PewDiePie. One of the most recognizable figures is businessman, investor, and philanthropist Warren Buffett, often known as the Oracle of Omaha. It's surprising that a man of his stature still chooses to live in the same house he purchased more than 6 years ago, and that he wouldn't ever give it up. According to what he told investors, the $31,500 he paid for it was the best deal he ever made because he had more than half a decade of memories. That's a sentiment we can all get behind. Forbes says he has over a $100 billion net worth. These people have shown that to become rich, you must learn how to live like the poor and not spend your money on foolish things to flaunt what you have. Instead, only buy something you need, even if it's flimsy. He travels around town on rented bikes and wears a baseball hat and shorts. Not bad for a man with a net worth of over $300 million. He's learned something from his gats. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please click the like button below. What do you think of all these folks living modest lives despite unlimited wealth? Also, subscribe and be sure to watch the following one.